Most people worry daily about everything from their health to their finances to their relationships. Yet, there's a group of humans who report almost no anxiety at all. Centenarians. People who've lived over 100 years consistently show remarkably low stress levels, even when facing serious challenges. So what's the secret that lets them glide through life without the constant mental chatter that plagues the rest of us? After studying the habits of hundreds of centenarians, researchers have identified 3 core mindset patterns that eliminate worry at its source. Today, I'll show you exactly how centenarians think differently and give you 3 specific habits you can start practicing today. We're talking about simplicity, social connection, and purpose-driven thinking, the 3 pillars behind centenarian calm. Let's break down the first pillar and see why most of us get it completely wrong. Here's what's killing your peace of mind: mental overload. Your brain processes over 35,000 decisions every single day, from what to wear to which emails deserve responses. This constant decision-making creates chronic stress that literally accelerates aging by shortening your telomeres and flooding your system with cortisol. Centenarians figured out something most of us miss. They practice what researchers call cognitive minimalism, deliberately limiting their choices, information intake, and daily obligations. They don't try to optimize everything or keep up with every trend. Instead, they focus on what truly matters and let everything else fade into the background. The first habit that creates this mental clarity is the daily decision filter. Before taking on any new commitment, centenarians ask themselves one simple question: does this serve my core values? If the answer isn't an immediate yes, they say no. This isn't being lazy. It's being strategic about where you spend your mental energy. Most people think they need to say yes to everything to succeed. But centenarians understand that every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. They protect their mental bandwidth like a precious resource. The second habit is what I call the digital sunset. 1 hour before bed, centenarians turn off all screens, dim the lights, and spend time journaling 3 things they're grateful for. This simple routine clears the mental clutter that builds up throughout the day and prepares their mind for restorative sleep. Here's where most people mess up. They try to multitask their way through life, thinking they can handle everything at once. But multitasking is actually task switching, and every switch costs you mental energy. Centenarians learned this decades before science proved either. They focus on one thing at a time and do it well. Take Maria, a 104-year-old from Italy who told researchers she stopped trying to juggle multiple activities in her 70s. Instead of rushing between social events, errands, and hobbies, she chose the few things that brought her genuine joy and gave them her full attention. The result? She reports feeling calm and present in ways she never experienced during her busier decades. Your quick win for today is a 5-minute mental tidy-up before bed. Grab a piece of paper and write down any lingering worries or tasks floating in your head. This simple brain dump clears your mental space and signals to your nervous system that it's safe to rest. Once your mind is decluttered and you've learned to protect your mental energy, the next secret is how you relate to others. The second pillar of centenarian calm is something that might surprise you. It's not having hundreds of friends or being the life of the party. It's about building what researchers call a reciprocal micro-network. Small, intentional circles of people who give and receive support on a daily basis. Here's why this matters for your stress levels. Strong social bonds literally rewire your nervous system. When you have people you can count on, your body produces less cortisol during challenging times. Studies show that centenarians have longer telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes that indicate cellular health, partly because of their consistent social connections. Your relationships aren't just nice to have, they're medicine for your cells. But here's what centenarians do differently than the rest of us. They don't collect acquaintances or chase social media followers. They invest deeply in a handful of relationships that provide genuine emotional support. These aren't necessarily family members or lifelong friends. They're people who show up consistently and create a sense of belonging. The third habit that creates this emotional resilience is scheduling regular check-ins. Centenarians make connection a priority, not an afterthought. They call a trusted friend, take a walk with a neighbor, or share a meal with someone they care about at least 3 times a week. These aren't long, elaborate conversations. Often just 10 minutes is enough to maintain the bond and share what's really happening in their lives. Most people wait for others to reach out first, but centenarians take initiative. They understand that relationships require the same intentional care as physical health. You wouldn't skip meals for weeks and expect to feel strong. So why would you skip meaningful connection and expect to feel emotionally stable? The 4th habit is practicing active listening during these interactions. When someone shares something with them, centenarians repeat back the core feeling they heard before offering advice or changing the subject. This simple technique builds trust incredibly fast and prevents the misunderstandings that create unnecessary drama in relationships. Let me tell you about Eleanor, a 102-year-old who credits her weekly tea gatherings for both her calm demeanor and her longevity. Every Tuesday for the past 30 years, she's met with the same group of 4 women. They don't discuss politics or gossip about others. They share their real struggles and celebrate each other's wins. Eleanor says these gatherings taught her that problems shared are problems halved, and joys shared are joys doubled. Here's the mistake that ruins this for most people. They try to maintain hundreds of shallow connections instead of nurturing a few deep ones. Social media makes this worse by giving us the illusion of connection without the actual emotional support. Centenarians focus on depth, not breadth. They'd rather have 5 people who truly know them than 50 who only know their highlight reel. Your quick win is writing a short thank you note to one person today. Not a text or email, but an actual note that acknowledges something specific they've done for you recently. This simple act strengthens your connection and reminds both of you why the relationship matters. With a clear mind and strong bonds in place, the final pillar gives life meaning and eliminates the fear that drives most worry. The 3rd and most powerful pillar of centenarian calm is how they think about their place in the world. While most people worry about the future or regret the past, centenarians live with what researchers call micro-purpose daily actions aligned with a larger personal mission that gives their life meaning. Here's why this eliminates worry at its source. When you have a clear sense of purpose, your brain literally rewires to view challenges as opportunities rather than threats. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Centenarians ask, how can I use this experience to serve my purpose? This shift in perspective transforms anxiety into action and fear into focus. But here's what's brilliant about how centenarians approach purpose. They don't wait for some grand, life-changing mission to appear. They start with small, daily actions that feel meaningful right now. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you create through consistent choices. The 5th habit is identifying one legacy task and dedicating just 15 minutes to it each day. This could be teaching a skill to someone younger, volunteering for a cause you care about, creating art, or simply being the person who always remembers birthdays in your family. The key is that it connects you to something larger than your immediate concerns and gives you a reason to get up each morning. Centenarians understand that worry often comes from feeling powerless or disconnected from meaning. When you're actively contributing to something you believe in it, even in small ways, those anxious thoughts have less space to take root. The 6th habit is future self-visualization. Each morning, centenarians spend a few minutes picturing themselves at 100 years old, healthy, calm, and surrounded by the impact they've made. Then they ask a simple question: what would that version of me do today? This practice keeps them focused on long-term values instead of short-term stresses. Most people make the mistake of waiting for the perfect moment to start living purposefully. They think they need to quit their job, move to a new city, or have some dramatic life change before they can begin making a difference. But centenarians learned that purpose grows from small, consistent actions taken right where you are. Take Frank, a 101-year-old who found his peace by knitting scarves for the local homeless shelter. What started as a hobby to keep his hands busy became his way of serving others. He's made over 500 scarves in the past decade, and he says knowing that his work keeps someone warm on cold nights gives him a sense of calm that no amount of money or recognition ever could. Your quick win is writing a one-sentence purpose statement on a sticky note and placing it somewhere you'll see it every day. It doesn't have to be perfect or permanent, just something that reminds you why your life matters beyond your own immediate needs. Putting these three pillars together creates the worry-free mindset that has allowed the world's longest-lived people to navigate decades of challenges with remarkable peace, simplicity, deep social connections, and daily purpose. These are the exact habits that keep centenarians calm and worry-free. The best part? You can start practicing them today. Try one habit from each pillar this week and see how your stress levels change. Drop a comment sharing your results, and hit subscribe for more science-backed longevity strategies that actually work.